Is your freemium killing you? I see a lot of ill-designed or poorly designed freemium models. I want to give you a historic example of how to think about it and how someone from 1862 actually solved this issue. The case in point is trains. So the Transcontinental Railroad back in 1860s was being built. So nobody could actually take people from the US East Coast to the US West Coast. So there was railroads going north and south on each of the coasts, but no railroad actually went across. And there were too many people on the East Coast, not a lot of people on the West Coast, and people were willing to pay $6,000, which in 1860 was a lot of money, to join a caravan and be transported across to the West Coast. And once you went to the West, you would never see any of your family again. Like, you were gone for life. It was essentially like, goodbye, mom and dad. I hope you live well. That's it. You could send letters, but this was about it. And so the railroad tycoons, they then built the railroad and they got the cost price down to almost nothing. And then they decided, okay, so we can now charge ticket prices to get people across. But what should we charge? And they looked at it this way, right? So they said, okay, so we're going to have some different types of customers. We're going to have someone that can pay not a lot. Then we're going to have someone that can pay a little bit more. And then we're going to have someone that can pay even more, like the richest customers. And the first realization was that, hey, we should probably charge these guys differently, right? Because if we just say, well, the price is going to be $10 or whatever it is, then, these guys are underpaying, and these guys, they can't actually sort of reach this, so they can't pay $10. So there's just going to be a lot of poor people that can't afford this. And if we then just like lower the price to whatever these guys can pay, like $5, then, we're missing out on even more over here. So the idea would be, hey, we actually want to charge these guys differently. So they did, and they called it third class, second class, and first class, right? So it's just packaging where you say, hey, we're going to get some people on here, and then, some people on here and some people on here, and then hopefully, everybody will pay what they can. So we're pricing the customer and not the product. Great. Now, this is sort of similar to a lot of freemium products where you say, hey, what's going to go on here is that we're going to get someone onto the least valuable proposition, and the price is going to be $0, but we then want them to upgrade into the paid version at some point, and then that's how we actually make money. And the thing is that we don't want a lot of people that is buying this one to buy the free one, right? So if we have free, and we have paid, and we have like, say, paid plus, whatever over here, then we want sort of only the right customers to be here, and then we want as many people to upgrade to the paid version as possible. Okay, so here's the train problem. The train problem was that a lot of the people that actually went from the East Coast to the West Coast were Quakers and other people that had a dream of going to the West and building a life of their own. And they were hard people, so they had no problem going third class. They're like, sure, like a train ride in 1860 is not an opportunity for luxury. Like, you're not taking a vacation with your family. You just want to get to California, right? And then preferably you would want to get to California with as much money as possible in your pocket. So if this costs $10 and this costs $5, you're taking the $5 ticket, right? And you're just going to say, hey, I'll arrive in California with $5 more. I mean, who knows what I'm going to need over there. Let's do that. So these guys, however, in the train example, the first class passengers, these were like industrialists and capitalists and lawyers and judges and everyone else, and they were like, oh, we're going to pay the whatever $20 that this ticket is, because we would never want to be seen with these people. So there was like a clear class society. So these guys kind of bought the expensive ticket almost because it was expensive. Fine, so they were taken care of. But the trains would sell almost no second class tickets, and they would sell out on third class, and then they would run empty here, and then they would run full here again. So they had sort of a cannibalization problem where the cheap product, maybe you have the same issue if you're free, would run over here. So I had a Silicon Valley startup that I helped once. They had 20 million free users, and they had 150,000 paying users, right? So it's one of these examples where, well, it's not even a 10 to 1, it's like a whatever, 200 to 1 issue that we're having with these free to paid users. You then need to work the product. You need to sort of figure out what can we actually deliver here that is still a viable solution for these people, so we have an actual use case that these guys want, even though it's free or even though it's cheap, whatever it is, without compromising how many people actually upgrade. So the right people buy this and the right people buy this for whatever product you have. So you need to go back to what is it, sort of the incremental or the smallest job or problem that you can actually solve for your customer is. And then you need to sort of slice that into its core. And for the railroad, they figured out that, what we're doing here is we're taking people to California and we're doing so cheaply, quickly, and alive, right? So, because that was the value proposition back then. So cheaply would be, well, it's going to cost you whatever, $5 or $20 and not $6,000 to join the caravan. And we're going to do it quickly because it's going to take only like a week to drive the train as opposed to like 6 months to do the walk. If your freemium is killing you, thin slice the product and work it in that way and figure out if you have an even smaller thing that you could deliver to the market, and then do that and see if it doesn't solve your cannibalization issue inside of your product portfolio. Okay, good luck to you. Hey there, so I create these videos for free so that you can take your great SaaS product and turn it into a great SaaS business. So if you like the video and you got value from it, you should of course subscribe to the channel and also tell a friend. So write someone and say, hey, you're in SaaS, this guy talks about SaaS, maybe there's something in there for you. So that is the only way that this channel actually grows or these videos gets around. And this is sort of how I try to provide value to everyone. I have a network of clients that I have, and I get most of my business from referrals only. So the reason I make the videos and write the books and so forth is actually to just provide value to everyone else, because I can only be in one place at a time. So my hope with all these videos is just to do more good in the world. And if you tell a friend or you share, you can help me do that. So thank you.